The pandemic has changed every aspect of our lives and has created a new reality for everyone, a reality that not many can afford. Hello, my name is Camila Vandenberg, and I'm a student at California College of the Arts. Because of the coronavirus, I was forced to leave San Francisco and move back home to Ecuador, where I've been in quarantine for more than 3 months. Ecuador is currently struggling with providing proper biosuits and protection for essential workers and doctors. Face masks and filters are limited and expensive, only available for those who can afford them. 23.2% of our population earns less than $5.50 a day during normal working days. With the conditions right now, they earn relatively lower. Single masks are being sold by third parties for over $10 a mask, making this one of my major concerns as both an Ecuadorian and as a designer. Due to the pandemic, I found myself distanced from my material and my design equipment, which posed as the ultimate challenge when creating and exploring with any kind of innovation. Nonetheless, I began to see what resources that I had, and I found a great amount of algae in my backyard pond. Algae is in the water to start with, because of the nutrients created by the agricultural runoff. Harvesting it becomes a form of eco-remediation that will pull these harmful nutrients from the water, since they have been incorporated into the algae, helping the water's ecosystem maintain its homeostasis. This is why I found out that algae is something that I find easy to source and cheap to find locally. In fact, I have contacted my local community and told them about my explorations with algae and possibly working with them. And they have connected me to a web of local gardeners that are in charge of taking algae from rivers, ditches, and even ponds around the area. This is a way I can find a solution to help my local community while also exploring with this innovation. And I'm proposing a cottage industry production where average people will harvest algae from stagnant local waters, and this advocates sustainability and maintains a low cost for the fabrication of filters and for this reusable face masks. The process for this project was to harvest the algae, let it sit for a few hours, and then wash it thoroughly, removing any possible debris like leaves and animals. After washing it, I began to sample the idea of hand felting it using hot water and vinegar. I added a 3-part water, 1-part vinegar solution on my algae. I discovered that because of the vinegar's acidity, it achieves the same results as if I were using bleach without becoming something toxic and harmful for the environment and for the plants. I wanted to continue to expose my felted algae to several disinfectant processes in order to ensure its efficiency. The solution that I found that worked best was the combination of rubbing alcohol and vinegar. This is something that is non-toxic but highly powerful when it comes to sanitation. I created an 80 to 20% ratio of rubbing alcohol, that is at least 70% isopropyl alcohol, and vinegar. This solution, I mixed it with tea tree, peppermint, and lavender essential oil. This added a nice refreshing smell to the solution, as well as it worked as an antifungal, microbial, antiseptic, antiviral, and antibacterial agent in this solution. I researched various alternatives to filtering systems. For example, coffee filters have been reportedly used and proven by the Missouri S&T to remove 23.1% of air particles. Paper towels have also been tested as a potential filter and have been proven that 2 layers of them have captured 33% of 0.3 micron particles. Algae have absorbent properties that could potentially filter air, water, and other particles in solutions like metal. According to Elsevier's research of biochemistry, they have concluded that algae could potentially filter 90 to 95% of metal particles within 10 minutes. These sheets of algae, together with the coffee filters and paper towels, have created a biosafe filtering system, with algae acting as a disinfectant and filtering agent that could be added to homemade filtering systems. Certified N95 masks are the respirators used in first world countries. They can filter up to 95% of the particles in the air that are 100 to 300 nanometers in size. certifying that it is potentially safe to use this amidst our current situations. However, these masks are scarce here, and unfortunately, third world countries find it hard to obtain these masks, exposing individuals to fake versions of them at very high costs. With this as an incentive, I began to test the efficiency of the filter that I made. This filter was previously worn by an individual for a period of 4 hours when leaving the house to run some errands. The individual presented no sign of obstruction of the air, as well as they mentioned that the essential oils felt calming and refreshing. They also mentioned that they not feel that their air was and their breath was being trapped and moisture was accumulating, like others thought or bought masks that they have used in the past. I wanted to conduct additional research and testing to see if my filter would still be efficient after that. So I decided to use an industrial vacuum and cornstarch to try this. Cornstarch has been proven to be the size of 0.1 to 0.8 microns in size. As an additional reference, cough aerosols in the air could potentially be the same size. I have attached a dark fabric to the vacuum in order to see any possible filtration. The results show that this, in fact, filters the air and at least filtered 95% of the particles in the air, making this a good filtering alternative for people that cannot access N95 masks or other certified filtering systems. This filter has been inserted in 100% reusable masks that has a pocket for the filter to go in and out so the individual can dispose of the filter after it's used and wash the mask afterwards. With minor funding, we would take this material to basic medical testing in the future. The pandemic has minimized our options, but has not stopped our creativity and innovation. Therefore, in the future, I envision the certification of this algae fiber in order to create potential filters for face masks, for people to be using and consuming at a low cost. But for now, I have created a filtering system using algae that not only offers the filtration of particles, but also offers a sanitized system with a pleasant smell at a low cost for people to have easier access to bioprotective products in Ecuador, assuring psychological and physical support for those who are currently facing the pandemic.